Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. Well, the spring-summer season is upon us, and I was going to say that means cycling season, but quite frankly, there's a lot of people that are doing it year-round as well. Also talk about that and just really athletics in general and great opportunities if you're an athlete of any kind, any ability. Somersault is the greatest place to find out awesome events that are happening here in Ontario and Quebec. And joining us, tell us more about that, we are joined by Adam Kourakis. He is the owner of velofix Ottawa and Somersault. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. Let's start biking because, as I said, I think most of us think biking, come spring, that's when we bring out our bikes, but probably more and more people you're seeing year-round now as well, Adam.
Yeah, everyone's biking these days. People are, like I said, they're biking in the winter, they're biking with their e-bikes for commuting, they're biking with their bikes for fitness, for family time, social time. So there's a bike for every kind of rider, for any kind of season.
And tuning up your bike, again, people, come spring, that's when they take it out and get it ready for tune-up. You say that's not necessarily the best time to get your bike tuned up.
Selfishly, this time of year, we are up to our eyeballs in bicycles. I think
Right.
Here at velofix, we have over 600 bikes in the queue right now, and we just can't get to them fast enough. So conveniently, we're open from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m., 7 days a week, including holidays. And even with all that availability, everyone just wants to go biking.
Yeah.
So if I can put the onus backwards a little bit, we say that February is the best time to get your bike. Okay. That time of year, we got same-day service, and we are happy to help. But no, all joking aside, we're open all year long, happy to help.
Nice.
But the best time to get your bike fixed is in the off-season when we have tons of time.
Well, let's talk about that service, because it is a mobile service, right?
That's it. Most people don't know, but you can obviously see the mobile businesses popping up everywhere. There's mobile dog grooming and nail salons now, and now we have the bike shop on wheels. So instead of putting your bike in the car and going somewhere, you can book online at velofix.com. We come right to your home. We do all the work right in front of you inside of our own mobile bike shop.
Right.
Most bikes take less than an hour and then you're rolling again. So you don't lose the bike for an extended period of time. You can meet your mechanic, you can ask questions and see what we do.
Yeah, and what do you do? I mean, what are some of the main things that you would work on? Looking at this bike, what's the first thing that sort of comes to mind for you?
The most common thing people ask about is the gears and the brakes. People want their gears to work, they don't want the clicking noises, and they want their bike to stop when they want it to stop. So if you're not sure if your bike does need a tune-up or not, the number one thing we say for kind of a safety check is to go into the garage or wherever the bike is stored, squeeze the brakes, make sure the brakes stop the bike safely before you hop on and find out that they don't.
Yeah.
And I know it might sound a little simple, but give the tires a squeeze, make sure they're full of air. On the side of the tire, it says how much PSI to put in there. Make sure it's at that PSI, because a bike with no air and no brakes isn't a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
So those are the two safety things. Then after that, we can worry about torque spec and spokes and whatnot. But to get the bike rolling safely, make sure the brakes work and there's air in the tires.
And I actually followed your advice because I remember one year not checking the tires, and my first couple of commutes, I was just dogging it. I was like, my gosh, I'm out of shape. But it's because my tires weren't inflated completely and well enough, right? And it just makes it harder to travel. Let's move to Somersault because new ownership, and that new ownership is you and your wife.
That's it. My wife and I own Somersault now. So her and I, unknowingly, we both did Somersault races as kids. So we were both in the same place at the same time. We can kind of see the results online and know that we had many misconnections. But now, 10 years later, we're married, and now we own the business that we both participated in for so long.
So
we organize triathlons, running races. We have some kind of team relay events. And then last year for our wedding anniversary, we added a wedding dress run. Oh. So anybody can come, men, women, all are welcome. We do a 1 kilometer wedding dress dash on our wedding anniversary.
I love it. What a great idea. And I mentioned off the top too, Adam, is that it's the one thing that you wanted to concentrate on was all ages, all abilities. Tell me why that was so important.
So yeah, we're about inclusivity on a lot of fronts, and it's kind of all over the place, but to kind of narrow it down, we're certified carbon neutral. An event like ours or events like ours, we produce waste, we have to drive vehicles, we do a lot of things that are bad for the environment.
Right.
But we're very, very close to being zero waste. We had an event just last weekend with over close to 2,000 people if you include spectators and volunteers and participants, and we produced about half a garbage bag of waste.
Really?
We plant trees every year with the Rideau Valley Conservation Authority to make sure that our events are certified carbon neutral. So all the generators that we used to run and the vehicles we have to drive, we can offset those parts of our footprint. Right. And then we have a non-binary category for non-binary athletes. In addition to men and women, we have a specific youth series so kids can race in their own race without feeling like they're lining up toe-to-toe with people that are adults or a little more intimidating.
Absolutely.
We have distances, like for a triathlon might sound scary to most. We have some triathlons that are just 100-meter swim, a 10K bike ride, and a 2.5 kilometer run, which almost anybody can do.
That's a great idea. Yeah, because as soon as you say that, I mean, you talk about intimidation, like right away I go, oh, well, there's not a chance I could do, but something like that. And I guess it gets people involved, right? It gets, that's a great starting point for people.
We made up this term, we call them social athletes. The same way someone might be a social drinker, someone might enjoy the sport, or they might enjoy sports, but they're not hardcore, they're not, doing Ironmans and whatnot.
Right.
But they're there to do it with their friends. So they want an experience that's fun and social, kind of scratches the fitness itch, but we're there for the social and the community part, and they're doing it more casually. So our races kind of cater to that. We have non-alcoholic beer at the finish line, and brownies and candies and pickles and chips. Every race comes with free photography and swag. And
really?
We do a lot of cool little things to kind of tease on that social athlete side, as we call it.
Right. What's the next one coming up?
We got 10 events every year. We just had one last weekend. We have a new one that just finished with the Tulip Festival, so a cool Tulip Festival run. But looking forward, we're doing one with Lansdowne called Formula Run.
Tell me about that.
So it's a team relay event. So you get teams of 2, 3, or 4 people, and kind of a play on Formula One. Most laps in an hour and a half wins the race. So you can choose your right formula. Do you have the fastest person go for as fast as they can, as long as they can? Do you do more transitions, which might give everybody more of a break? You can kind of find the right formula for your run.
Right.
And then after that, we have the Meech Lake Triathlon. We have a new one in Long Sault along the Parkway. Yeah, we have a whole gamut of really fun new things this year.
Where can people find the entire schedule? Where's the best place to go?
Somersault.ca. It's all there.
Excellent. Just one last thing on cycling. We've been talking about cycling here in Ottawa and that cycling network. Are you encouraged that we're going the right direction?
I think so. I think, like anybody will say, there's always more you can do. And there's a lot to be negative about, but there's a lot to be positive about. You're seeing more bike lanes. You're seeing the ridership go through the roof.
Right.
We're seeing a lot more active transport, people ditching their cars. We're seeing e-bikes taking over the world, so to speak. So if you focus on the positives, there's a lot of things there to look at.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for being here. Great to see you, Adam. Again, velofix.com. As Adam said, it's a really busy time for them. So if you're looking at scheduling somebody to come with their mobile bike shop, make sure you visit that website. And again, somersault.ca to find out all of those fantastic events that are going on. We'll be back with more after this. Don't go anywhere.